Fatima Swafan takes after her father Bassam. She's a communicator. She wants to understand and be understood. Like Bassam, she smiles a lot. My name I sounds Fatma, she says, but here everyone says Fatima. I don't mind. Since the Syrian family arrived in Canada in January 2016 as government-sponsored refugees, 14-year-old Fatima has become the voice of her family. She shoulders the responsibility of translating without a speck of resentment, although it sometimes interferes with her favorite activity, studying. I'd only want to study, says the straight-A grade 9 student at Guildford Secondary. For Fatima, studying is a luxury. In Syria, it was very hard to study, says Fatima. In Jordan, we were refugees and we didn't have a lot of money and it was expensive to go to school, so it was hard there too. But Fatima has to take time off school when her mother, who is 8 months pregnant with the family's 8th child, has a medical appointment, or when her family needs help with something like a negotiation with a prospective landlord. When I came here I didn't know anything about the language. I studied it myself with the phone. As soon as the family arrived in Canada, she taught herself basic phrases using a translator app on her family's phone. I picked the most important words I was going to use to meet new people. Like hi, how are you? I said them to everyone as much as I could. Fatima Swafan, 15, and her family at their new home in Surrey. The family fled Syria are now living in Canada. Arlen Redekop, PNG. For the past 3 months, Fatima has been accompanying her parents to search for a new rental home. Come, says Fatima. She shows the cupboards that are falling off their hinges in the kitchen of the family's Surrey rental, the rotting door frame, the layers of black mold. All the children have been sick, she explains. From the mold, in the living room the family's few belongings are already packed in plastic storage boxes. The Swafans have found a new house, although they know they can barely afford it. The new house is $2,000 a month plus $500 in utilities, explains Fatima. It's not going to be easy for the Swafans, and many of the 2,500 Syrian refugees who arrived in 2016. Adequate, affordable, safe housing remains one of the biggest challenges, and they've been told there are few, if any, BC housing units for families of their size. It was hard to find a house. No one wants all the children, explains Fatima. We looked for 3 months. Bassam Swafan with 3 of his children at their new home in Surrey. 2-year-old Karam is sitting on the couch while 4-year-old Rahaf is to Bassam's left and 5-year-old Muhammad is to his right. Arlen Redekop, PNG. In the living room, Bassam settles on the sofa. He leans forward, eager to talk, but English is still a challenge. Yusra, 12, brings out a tray of glasses and a pot of fragrant, sweet tea. Their mother wears a beautiful black abaya, a long-sleeved traditional dress with an embroidered front pane, and offers baklava and cookies. Bassam is all smiles. In spite of the difficulties of resettlement, the family seems happy and the room echoes with laughter. Karam, 2, who was hospitalized for lung issues when the family first arrived, is a healthy toddler. Rahaf, 3, is in and out of the room, on and off furniture, and Muhammad, 6, hangs off the coffee table listening to everything. Elder sister Mariana, 17, and Yusuf, 8, are out. Mariana is working on getting her driver's license, and Yusra, who is long-legged and tall, has just joined the basketball team at school, says Fatima, with pride. Fatima runs to get a sketchbook to show off Mariana's beautifully detailed drawings. Fatima excels in math and science and she wants to be in advanced placement classes to be more challenged, but because of the move she will have to change schools after March break. She doesn't know yet what school she will be going to, or whether she will be able to get into the classes she wants. Whatever happens, Fatima is single-minded about the future. I just want to study, she says. I want to be a surgeon, not for money, Bassam explains, with Fatima translating. Money is not important. It is to study and to learn and to help people, Fatima nods. Not for money, she agrees before jumping up to take the broom from her mother's hands and sweep the living room floor. Bassam smiles easily and often. His teeth are bright white and brand new. Bassam was able to get his teeth fixed after readers learned of his tooth pain in the post-media series From Syria to Surrey last year, and dentist Harinder Danju of the Pacific Oral Health Society stepped in to offer free treatment. The Swafan family enjoying their new home in Surrey. Arlen Redekop, PNG. After their second year in Canada, the family has become more self-reliant. When asked about the settlement service agencies, Bassam laughs and waves his hand. The promised English classes have not come through. We will do our work by ourselves and not depend on the settlement agencies, he says. When he hangs out with his friends, it's not at a refugee service center or a mosque. We meet at Tim Hortons, he says with a laugh. Bassam doesn't want to criticize. From the moment we came, everything is good, he says. We are adapting fine to the culture, but the most challenging part has been finding housing. After fleeing Syria, the family spent 3 years Jordan, including 8 months in a refugee camp before arriving in Canada in January 2016 as one of nearly 500 government-assisted Syrian refugees. The family had 1 year of federal refugee support. In early 2017 they transitioned to BC income assistance, which Bassam says is $1,200 a month. In addition, the family receives the federal child tax benefit of about $3,500 a month. After covering housing at $2,500 a month, everything else covers necessities like transportation and food. For clothing, the family relies on Value Village, and for food, they supplement with the food bank. Bassam has not been able to find work, in part because of the difficulties he has had accessing English classes. After being on a waiting list for over a year for English classes, Bassam was able to get into a night class, but it wasn't helpful, he says. In addition, his wife Yusra, now 8 months pregnant with their 8th child, has diabetes and her blood sugar is too unstable for her to leave the house, even for English classes. Bassam has to be available to help her with the children. Like many Syrian refugees, Bassam has decided that he will find a way to take care of his family himself. He has been looking for a farm to lease. He wants to build greenhouses to produce vegetables, and raise goats and chickens that he can butcher for halal meat. In Syria he was a farmer. It's what he knows how to do. I want to help the food bank because they have helped me, he says, but Bassam is perplexed by how farmland is managed in BC. I have found farms that have not been put to use but not many that are available to rent, explains Bassam. Why is there farmland that isn't used? Back home, we don't leave a spot of land unused. Bassam is optimistic. People who want to succeed can do anything here. He volunteers among the refugee community, and counts Canadians, Italians, Iraqis, Palestinians and Arabs among his wide circle of new friends. The people here are very friendly, very helpful, very kind. Any Syrian refugee here will tell you the same, he says. Our life is very good. Ryan at postmedia.com.